Okay, here is part 2 of the lather test series of each of the videos that we have up so far. And so in the previous video we did Superfoodie, hot process, nectarine and berries, melt and pour or glycerin soap. We did charcoal and witch hazel, hot process, and the sea glass, melt and pour or glycerin soap. And boy, those were good. So let's see how the other 4 perform, if they do as well. I suspect they will. Let's get the water going. And now we will do milk and honey. And if you remember the milk and honey, if you saw the video on that, I had all kinds of fun issues going on with that, and ended up doing, well, that came off, but ended up doing a little bit of melt and pour drizzle on the top, and that's what it looks like. And the funniest thing about it is that it's called milk and honey. The fragrance oil was called milk and honey, and yet I'll be ding danged if it doesn't smell like caramel or caramel, however you'd like to say it. Give it a little splash around everywhere too. Give it a couple of turns in my hand, not too many. Get it to stay there. Come on, stay there. Stay there. Okay. Probably help if I got a soap dish, huh? Probably it would. Alright. Got some good bubbles going here. This got a lot. Alright. Alright. This had a lot of milks in it, and they all have honey in them, but this had honey and milks and the honey and milk fragrance, and so that's what made it a little more distinctive from the other soaps that always have honey in them. Sometimes milk, but it's nice. It's very creamy, smooth, got good bubbles. Need a soap dish. You know what, I'm going to make some soap dishes. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some. And it always, the soaps, they just rinse so clean. But the funny thing is that even though that right after you rinse it off, they feel squeaky clean, what happens after you dry your hands is that it feels like you put lotion on your hands afterwards. When they're dry, it feels like you have lotion on them. And so I just love that because I'm constantly, obviously, washing my hands. And even though I wear gloves when I'm making the soap, I have gloves off for so many different things, and I don't want my hands to look like crocodile hands, you know. Yeah, I don't want them to be all scraggly looking and everything. I like that it feels really nice after you dry them. That's really important to me because and that's why I also choose the really high-end super fats to go in that stay present in the soap. They're not saponified into the lye, and so they stay in the soap. So it is like an extra moisturizer, and it's also some insurance so that you make sure that your soap is not lye heavy, but always run it through a calculator. Okay, the next one is sugar sand melt and pour. Now this one I had, if you saw the video, I know that it looked like, wow, what a strange thing to do, using river rock to make this pattern, but let me see if you guys can see it well. It really turned out so neat, and it's so intricate when you look inside of it, and I like that. And I used actual just a little tiny bit, but sanitized Matagorda sand from Matagorda, Texas. And I love the way the color came out. The fragrance is just to die for. It is so good. And this is the first time that I'm using this. I haven't tested it because I was hoarding the bars. Didn't want to use them. Didn't want them to go away. So, this is the first time I've seen it wet too. God, look at that. Alright. This is going to be a don't drop the soap video, but anyway. It really... I can see why people... okay. I can see why people rinse their melt and pour after they make it and let it sit and dry, or spray it with rubbing alcohol and let it dry, because it really does bring out how translucent it can be. And I think it's just lovely. It really is so interesting. It makes a lot more interest to the soap, and so let's see how it performs. Before I drop it again, at least I'm not dropping it on the floor. That'd be worse. I say that, and now that could very well happen. Okay. Oh boy. This is nice. This is super nice. This is giving me so much, it's coming off my hands and falling, but yeah, this is nice. I like this. Oh my goodness, it smells so heavenly. It smells beachy, but not gross beachy. It just smells great. It smells like when you get a couple of miles from the ocean and you can start smelling that salt air. That's what it smells like. That's one of my favorite parts of driving to the coast, is when I get close enough to be able to smell that salt air. Oh, it's just wonderful. And you know, for having sand in it, you can't feel it. Now, and it's very dense. See how dense that is. Now, I could get more bubbly, add a little more water, but it's just a very dense, creamy lather. Nice. Very nice. Very, very, very good. I am pleased with that one. And, like I said, the way I made it, it was something new to me, using rocks as a what's the word? That technique has been done before in a different application, but I really thought that it would be neat to do that with the sand, so it would look like dunes in the ocean. So that's why I did it that way. And it was very interesting digging all those rocks out, if you want to see that, the sugar sand melt and pour. Okay, now on to the Play-Doh scented soap, and that was hot process. The Play-Doh soap was interesting, gave me fits because of the color. I wanted to make red Play-Doh soap. It ended up being a lovely shade of pink. But this is the end piece. Okay. Wash your hands every time I drop the soap. How about that? Play a game. Use it as a game. Oh my heavens. Anyway, I wanted red. I got pink, but I think I know what I was able to identify what mistake I made at the time with the coloring and all of that. So I'm going to do it again, and I think I know exactly, but the recipe is good. The color, you know, that gave me fits. But the recipe is very good. So, it's probably going to jump in the sink, but that's okay. Ew, it feels really good. Smells like Play-Doh. You know, this would be such a good thing to do for a kid's birthday party or a stocking stuffer or something, as long as it's labeled really well that it is soap for your hands or soap for your bod, but make sure that they know that it's not to play with, that it's not to take a bite out of, because I know kids eat Play-Doh and stuff like that. But boy, this recipe is really good. And the little kids would think it was neat. They would think it was neat that it smells like Play-Doh. It really does. Boy, that feels really good on your hands. It really does. Feels really good. I can see there's a little bit of pink there, maybe. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but yeah, I think it's just me. I don't think it's pink. But man, I added so much colorant, I wouldn't doubt it. But you know, this is a good combination of bubbles and lather. And I just barely touched it, you know. Just barely gave it a whirl and got that much off of it. So, that is worth trying as well. Now, for the last soap is the ginger snap and pumpkin. And this one, the scent is really good too. This is a glycerin soap, and so it also holds its scent very well. The hot process does too. They both do, which is why I like both ways of doing it. But this one is the one that took forever to solidify, and I just could not believe it. I couldn't understand why. So now I'm going to try it and see how it is. And so for an October soap, I think this is going to be nice. I can see some of the little sparkles of the mica in it. Let me get it wet. Oh yeah, now you can see it. Now you can definitely see it. And I've got my little ginger snaps on the top. Okay. Oh my gosh, that feels so good. This is made with a different glycerin base than I normally use. Wow. This is made with the Tussa Silk glycerin base. So it already has the Tussa Silk in it. Now in hot process, you would normally put the Tussa Silk, you know, like about a cotton ball size piece, into the lye water and let it dissolve. Then strain it into your oils. And it would add a softness. But this is really, it smells very good. It smells like I'm baking. I wish I were. It's making my stomach growl. Because it smells so good. It's cinnamony, but it smells like baking. Gingery. Very nice. Very, very nice. It feels really good. I'm super pleased with it. It's slippery. It'll try to get away from you. So just know that. Yeah. It's gonna try to escape. Anyhow, I hope that it's helped to see each of the soaps, the way they perform, and in them actually being in use and seeing what they do and how they feel and what kind of bubbles you get and how hard you have to work at the bar to get them. Each one of them that I tried, really 3 spins in my hand and I had, you know, handfuls of either dense lather or bubbly lather, creamy lather. They all were really good. I'm very pleased with all of them, and so I'm happy about that, and I'm anxious to make my next one, which I'm going to use the, what's it called? I'm very excited to do my next soap because I am going to use a slab mold, which I have not done on camera before. And so that's probably setting myself up for some grandiose situation going on, but I'm going to use the slab mold, and so be looking for that. And any of these soaps that I've tried out, the Super Foodie, the Nectarine, the Charcoal and Witch Hazel, Sea Glass, Milk and Honey, Sugar Sand, Play-Doh, and Ginger Snap and Pumpkin, each of those videos are up if you'd like to see how they came together and how I did that. And I'd appreciate it if you would give it a like and subscribe. It would be nice to hear any comments that you have about the soaps and maybe some ideas for me. I'm always looking for new ideas, and some of mine are not so good and they don't work out, and some of them work out pretty well. So I'm kind of happy with the ones that I have so far, and we'll see about the slab mold, the big scary slab mold. We'll see. But thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, so hang with me. Oh yeah, and I wanted to tell you, subscribe. Please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, whichever side it's on. I always get confused. It's on one side or it's on the other, but it's there, I can tell you.